Good morning. It's Thursday, October 16th, 2014. This is Tech Talk Today, episode 77, and I'm not alone today. I've been joined right here in studio by Mr. Producer Extraordinaire, Eric. Hey there, Eric.
Hey.
Hey, so we're on the verge of the Apple event. It's just about to get started. We're going to do our live coverage Mystery Science 3000 thing. So this is one way for you to not only kind of catch the details of what happened in the keynote, good and bad, like which happened last time, but our thoughts, it was going real time, sort of encapsulate our coverage of the event. Going forward, we kind of have an idea of what's coming out. We expect to see an iPad Mini update, an iPad Air update. Pretty boring there. Touch ID integration. I'm expecting some HomeKit announcements. I'm thinking some home automation. I think it's the future of lock-in is home automation.
Yes.
So we'll see. But to join us, to parse all of this as it happens in real time, we have an extraordinarily deep bench of intelligent, insightful Mumble Room contestants. Time-appropriate greetings, Mumble Room.
Hello.
Hello. All right, so we should say right here, of course, this is going to be a lot of Apple stuff. Unfortunately, that is what's going to be dominating the news today. So if you're not a huge Apple fan, I don't blame you. You can tune out, or you can stay around and torture yourself like the rest of us will be doing. So before Apple gets their stream going, which I think is going to happen quite soon. In fact, we got the pre-stream music now.
There it is.
Coming in from Apple. I wanted to talk a little bit while we wait for that about the announcements we got from Google just as we went off air yesterday. So I was like, I didn't get a chance to cover it because it happens pretty much as we were wrapping, but Google announced a bunch of new Nexus devices. I think everybody by now has probably heard about the Nexus 6, the new phone. It's a monster. It looks gorgeous, built by Motorola. The Nexus 9, an update to the tablet, now with forward-facing speakers, and the Tegra chipset, which looks like a monster too. But the thing I want to talk about real quick is the player. For some reason, I think this is the one I'm going to end up with. Now, there's been rumors of a $99 price point. But I'm looking at this player. It's got a quad-core Atom in it. You can get a game controller accessory if you want. I think the remote is perfect. It reminds me a lot of the Roku remote. And one of the things I'm noticing right there on their apps is the Plex support. So this, to me, is an Amazon Fire competitor.
Nice.
I think I might consider picking one of these up. Well, if it's like less than $120 or something.
Plex is the game changer right there.
Yeah. I think the Nexus Player is an interesting device, and I think Google nailed it this time. And it also has Chromecast support, so if I was going to get a Chromecast anyways, I would actually prefer to get this because it doesn't hang off the side of my TV for one thing, and it has additional functionality like Plex.
Yeah, mine hangs off the back of my TV.
So it's using the Intel Atom latest gen, so I'm thinking it's whatever you get when you get that CPU. I don't know if that's Iris or what, but it's probably...
NVIDIA have one coming along as well.
Yes.
I had a play with it a couple of weeks ago, and it's very nice. And I played this random 3D game on it. It was really cool.
I was random, huh? I was a little surprised that this wasn't an ARM-based device with the Tegra chipset in it. I actually, when I went to the specs page, that's exactly what I expected to see. And if you check out the Nexus 9 tablet, you go down to the specs here, it's a rockin' NVIDIA Tegra system. It's got... not only a monster battery in it, 6,700 milliamp battery in it, but it's got the 64-bit Tegra K1 processor, 2.3 gigahertz, and it's got the Kepler GPU. So it's a screamer of a performer.
Screamer and power for days.
And when I saw that, I said, okay, well, they took those guts, they put them in the Nexus Player, and made the Nexus Player. And no, it's an Intel Atom x86 machine.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's impressive.
What do you think of the Nexus 6? Too big?
Nexus 6? No, because again, it depends on your market. If you don't already have a tablet, you don't already have a smartphone,
That's true.
This is perfect.
Something in between there.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's too big. I'm going to stick with I have L on my it looks like a great phone though. I have L on my Nexus 5, and I think that's just about the right size for me right now. Plus on my 5, it's easier for me to run other operating systems I want to play with, which is a nice feature of the phone. So the event is kicking off right now, so we'll go live to the video. It's one of their opening videos that they just do for the event. So we'll start following this, and we'll interrupt as we see appropriate. Is everybody buying their iPhones? Right? These are all the Apple stores during the iPhone 6 sales?
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is... consumerism at its best right there.
Oh, big time. It's just like, you are the best if you bought this. Look how happy these people are with their phones.
And you get rage 10 times more than noise.
Ooh, good editing, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they've always got good video production.
Bet you they're doing it with Final Cut.
They better be.
Good morning.
Now, this is a smaller venue.
Good morning.
I think I heard a director say go.
I did too.
Thanks everyone for joining us this morning. It's been an incredible year and tremendously busy already, but we've got a few more things to share with you before we close out the year.
Oh, okay.
As you saw from the video, we had an amazing reception to the iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus launch.
I noticed that.
The stores were absolutely electrifying with energy. It was unbelievable. There was no better place on earth to be.
Shocking.
These
No better place on earth.
Huh.
are the best phones we have ever created. And the reviews have been off the charts.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any clearer.
Apple really has had a major, I mean, there's no doubt about it. The iPhone 6, massive success. I think it's their biggest success yet, right?
Well, yeah.
So-
They also answered the question, does it bend?
Yeah. Wow. Look at you, little cold water right there. Nice.
Now, with great reviews and the great customer response, it's no wonder that these iPhones have become the fastest selling iPhones in history. And the first 30 days, we have set a new high water mark for the most orders taken. And I don't mean by a little, by a lot, a whole lot.
You know, the flip side of this is now this is the new thing they have to beat next year.
Our rollout around the world is going well. In fact, by the end of this week, we'll be in 32 countries. And just in a few hours from now, we will launch in China. With support for TD-LTE and FDD-LTE, iPhone 6 and 6 Plus customers will have access to China's fastest networks on all three major networks.
Well, there goes all the knockoffs.
This is the very first time we've launched a new iPhone on all three networks, and we're doing it perfectly aligned to the early stages of China's huge 4G rollout. We couldn't be more excited about this, and I would tell you that the pre-orders, as you might guess, have set a new record. We can't wait to get started.
So what are they?
With what's going on in China,
No?
what's going on here,
Not going to say?
and the other countries around the world, and all of the reviews and the customer response,
Oh, he's building up to it. It must be
this
that big.
is
Yeah.
our biggest iPhone launch ever.
Maybe the biggest ever? Like, we'll never beat this again big? How big is it?
The bar has gone up, and now we have to pull vault.
All right, you said this a few times. How big?
So that's a quick update
Are
on
you kidding?
iPhone.
Are you no
Now,
numbers?
the iPhones also get the benefit of another major announcement that we made last month. And of course, I'm talking about Apple Pay, which is an entirely new way to pay for things in stores and in apps. Apple Pay is built right into Passbook, integrated right in, and everything you need is built into iPhone 6 and 6 Plus.
My body is ready.
It's an easy, it's secure,
My Nexus 5 is ready.
and yes, it's a private way to pay for things.
Let me open up my Google
that
Wallet
it
and
is
see
going
what
to
it
be
says.
profound.
Private is a stab
We're
at
getting
Google.
going in the United States. We've got all three major networks supporting us, and we have all of the nation's top banks supporting us. And just since last month announcing this, we have signed another 500 banks. They will be rolling out support later this year and early next year, showing the support and the enthusiasm around Apple Pay. We've got many of the largest retailers in the country supporting us, and as you might guess, since we announced last month, there's even more that will be rolling out between now and the end of the year. Now, Apple Pay also works online in apps. You can buy products and services right in the app. And it's pretty simple. Find those pair of Beats headphones you want, and boom, you've bought them. I've been wanting these a long time, and Jimmy won't give me a pair. We've got a lot of people behind us here as well. A lot of great apps and a lot of great developers. And as you might guess, since last month, many more people have committed to roll out between now and the end of the year. So we believe Apple Pay is going to be huge.
So I'm guessing by this setup, it also means Apple Pay will be in the iPads.
And I'm excited to announce
I would hope so.
That we are beginning on Monday.
There it is. So Apple Pay will become a thing on Monday.
The journey begins, and we can't wait. Now, also last month, we announced an entirely new category. Of course, I'm talking about Apple Watch.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
It's the most personal device we've ever created.
Popey's got one of those.
You can wear this powerful technology right on your wrist, and it's just as much about personal expression as it is about functionality. We've had great reception from the tech community, but we've also had great reception from the health and fitness community and by people who know a lot about fashion and style.
I'm honestly surprised they're spending this much time on stuff that they just talked about.
Yeah. I mean, this was... Where are we? Like...
I don't know.
How many? 10 minutes
10
in?
minutes in. Yeah.
And they're talking about stuff they talked about last keynote.
This month,
It's
the
on-
Apple Watch is on the cover
Yeah.
of Vogue
Yeah.
China.
Yeah.
We are really proud of this.
Yeah.
It's an incredible image, and we're so proud to be associated with Vogue in China. Now, as we showed you last month, we have been working with selected third-party developers on Apple Watch.
We're going to get more about an SDK, aren't we?
And like BMW, like American Airlines, like Starwood, and they've created some really unique personal experiences for Apple Watch.
I think we're about to meet WatchKit.
I'm pleased to tell you today that we have developed WatchKit.
There it is.
Where
Kaboom.
many other developers can join this party. And we are rolling out WatchKit next month.
So the SDK is going in
Time for
November.
developers to really do some fantastic work before we begin shipping Apple Watch.
Now, remember when they launched the first iPhone, they didn't even think they were going to have apps. They thought it would be all web apps. So now, before this device is even out, they're getting the SDK out. So they've
Apple
learned from
Watch
that.
will be
Oh, yeah.
shipping in early next year.
Well, if you don't learn from
and
your
every
mistakes,
day I look forward to
you
that day.
Then you have Windows.
Yeah, that's right.
Early 2015, no specifics.
So that's some quick updates around iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus, Apple Pay, and Apple Watch. They join an incredible product lineup, one that I would call our strongest product lineup ever.
Look how they do that. They put the
of
iMacs in
these
with the watch and
products
the phones.
Are not
Almost reminds me
only
of the bars on the phone.
individually the best in class
Yeah, it does.
within its category, but they've been designed to work seamlessly together.
So now we're going to hear about Yosemite.
And this is made possible by the most advanced operating systems on the planet, iOS 8
GNOME 3. Oh,
and OS 10 Yosemite.
That's not an operating system.
Today
yet.
we've got some terrific updates on both of these, and to tell
Wait,
you all
it is. It's
about
called
them,
Fedora.
I'd like to turn the stage over to Craig Federighi. Craig?
okay. Here comes Craig, everybody.
Good morning.
Applause, applause, applause. Like they
Well,
have a light.
iOS 8 has been out for just under a month, and I'd like to give you a quick update. Now, iOS 8, of course, is a major new operating system for iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch, and the early reviews have been just great. The Wall Street Journal said that iOS 8 pulls out ahead of the competition by leveraging the greatest strengths of the iPhone, its app and its ecosystem. But what's even cooler is just how many of our customers are already using it. You can see that in just under 4 weeks, nearly half of iOS customers are running iOS 8.
So they're saying 48%.
Now, if you consider that in combination with iOS 7...
That's pretty good, and I think that one of the biggest barriers they have now is that you have to have 5 gigs free on the device to update, and people that have an iPhone 16 gig or 8 gigs don't probably have 5 gigs free.
Oh, especially if they're loaded up with music and apps.
Yeah, so they can't do. They're stuck. They're stuck on iOS 7.
Unless they delete a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, which regular users aren't going to do that. Poking fun at Android.
When you look at Android, for instance, the vast majority of customers are running an operating system that's more than 2 years old. And if you focus just on KitKat, the latest release, after 313 days, they'd achieved just 25% penetration of their user base. iOS 8 has nearly doubled that in just 26 days.
Snaps.
We couldn't be happier.
Well, that's because...
If I were Apple, I would tout that number. Like, I would do that too. And it's because the way they deliver their updates versus delivering through the carriers and the OEMs.
Feature release with something for all of our customers. Things like tap to talk and easy location sharing in messages. Our new QuickType keyboard with smart predictive typing suggestions.
A lot of recap
and
here.
And family sharing that makes it easy to share your calendars,
the problem is it's not obvious on that keyboard if your
photos,
caps or not.
And even your purchases on the App Store and the iTunes Store. But what really sets iOS 8 apart is all the incredible technologies that it puts in the hands of our developers. It's amazing what they've done with them. And let's take a look. We'll start with extensions. We've seen an absolute flood of updates to the App Store with applications improving their functionality via extensions. So now, with iOS 8, when you swipe down from the top of your phone to get into your Today view, you have access not just to the system's built-in widgets, but also these great third-party widgets as well. And when it comes to sharing, you of course have all of the system sharing options, but also those of the third-party apps you use the most.
I wonder, is this a response to the fact that L's coming out now? So we're sort of reminding everybody what we just got with iOS 8?
It must be, because they're really emphasizing the iOS stuff.
Stuff that we kind of already know. And I guess also all of this you get on the iPad. So all this stuff they can say is, well, this is also reminding you of what you get on the iPad. So it's kind of...
So you think they're going to take that to transition to the new iPad, or...
Don't know.
Just about any other box where you happen to put some files. Now, we also have support for third-party keyboards. So whether you like to type by swiping your finger all over the screen, or enrich the life of your friends
Klingon,
with
or I'm
them
out.
Animated
Gotta have a
GIFs,
Klingon keyboard.
Or communicate in your native language of Klingon.
There you go.
They're well done.
Has you covered. Believe it or not, this is actually in the App Store. So,
of course it is.
Yes. Go Klingon.
It already has to be indeed.
So next up, HealthKit. Developers have really embraced HealthKit. So when you're taking a run or cycling with Strava, all of the data about your workout, activity data goes into your health profile in HealthKit. With apps like LifeSum, they're able to combine activity information with information about your eating habits to make custom diet recommendations. And then you have apps like ShareCare's AskMD, which are able to take your profile, including things like data from your Bluetooth scale or other sensors, to offer a personalized health consultation.
But can it read my
We've
cholesterol?
also given developers access to Touch ID, which means now, if you want to get into E-Trade or unlock your passwords in 1Password, you can do it with the security and the convenience of your fingerprint.
Of course, these new iPads are going to have Touch ID.
There's Metal. With Metal, you get direct access to the power of the 64-bit A7, A8 and the amazing GPUs they have inside. And so whether you're racing around the track in Asphalt 8, creeping around the rooftops in Assassin's Creed Identity, or slashing your way through Gods of Rome, you can do so with unparalleled visual fidelity, things you've never seen on mobile platforms.
I think it's funny that he put together slashing in Metal.
Very clever.
Yeah.
Next is Swift, an entirely new programming language that we introduced to take development of iOS and OS X apps to the next level.
You know, when they announced Swift, we covered that, and it seemed like the biggest gamble that came out of WWDC. I think it's interesting now to see where it's at. It sounds like it's early days for it, but it sounds like from the podcast I listened to that it was very well thought out in the way that they did it. So this has been, for the iOS platform, a pretty big year. New development language, new extensions, Touch ID integration, Apple Pay, all this stuff added to the platform just in this update.
Is incredibly interactive and intuitive, giving the thousands of developers on our teams the flexibility to create powerful apps that will transform enterprise mobility.
Ooh, I like they had transform, enterprise, and mobility all in that last sentence. That's impressive.
And there'll be many new Swift programmers being minted every day because major universities have incorporated Swift into their programming curriculum to teach new students this awesome new language. And that's a quick update on iOS 8.
8.1.
Now let's turn our attention to iOS 8.1.
Got to get the new stuff,
Now,
right?
Needless to say, when we put a major new operating system in the hands of hundreds of millions of users, we do get a little bit of feedback. And that takes us to improvements. So one of our major goals, of course, with iOS 8.1 is to address the top sources of customer feedback, and of course to even bring back the beloved camera roll. But not just that.
Interesting, okay.
We've added support in 8.1 for Apple Pay on iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, and the public beta of iCloud Photo Library. So now everyone can have every photo you take on all of your devices.
Now here comes the pricing for this, right?
Because organization you do
iCloud is
or
expensive
any edits
storage.
you make on any device are instantly reflected on all of your devices. And this is true on your iPhone, your iPad, and you can even access your photo library on your Mac or on your PC via iCloud.com.
And Linux, right?
Now, this isn't just your photos, it's also your videos as well. And they're in their original format and resolution. No downscaling. It's available in public beta with iOS 8.1, and it uses your iCloud storage. So your first 5 gigabytes are free.
Okay.
For just 99 cents, you can get 20 gigabytes more.
All right.
And you can get a massive 200 gigabytes for just $3.99.
But what's the 1 terabyte?
So that's iOS 8.1. And a quick update on iOS 8. Now let's turn to OS 10 and Yosemite.
GNOME 3.
So it was just this June that we publicly unveiled Yosemite to the world. The reception has been fantastic. We've had over 1 million members of the Mac community sign up to be part of the Yosemite public beta, and the reception has been just awesome. We're all in love with the gorgeous new design of Yosemite. It's just amazing. Has this gorgeous dock with these vibrant icons, it's so precise, this clean and consistent use of typography throughout the system. Notification Center is more useful than ever.
Leopard.
Lets you get at all of your widgets just at a glance, including third-party content. And Spotlight has been absolutely supercharged. So now, in addition to searching content locally on your Mac, it also taps into sources on the internet. Things like maps and Wikipedia, just right there whenever you need them.
Hey,
And of
Popey, they
course,
stole
all
your
of the
stuff.
apps built into Yosemite have been completely revitalized
Hey,
with
look,
this
it's
new UI.
Midori.
So
Oh,
Safari,
weird.
for instance, all the
Safari.
power of the world's most powerful browser are packed right into that elegant toolbar right there at the top. If you want to get at all of your favorites, just tap in the address field. They're right there. And if you start typing, you don't just get Google search suggestions, you also get Spotlight suggestions.
Did he say tap,
which often
so they're
provide the
enabling
answer
taps
to your
on the
question
Macs, I bet.
without even completing the
Or they're
search.
just calling it tap
Just
across
really
the board
fast.
Yeah.
Now, Safari's better at sharing.
Do you think maybe
than ever
they might
as well.
introduce
You can share
touchscreen
system
on the new
sources
Macs
and
coming
through
out?
extensions.
No, I don't feel like they. Don't you think they would have added a lot more to Yosemite to make it more touch friendly to do that?
Maybe it is.
I don't know.
Bird's eye
There's some
view
gestures
of all
they have
the
to
Maybe.
tabs.
Yeah,
It's
maybe.
great.
Stacks multiple pages
I don't think so.
from the
think so?
sites.
Okay.
But you never know.
Stacks
He did say
like this,
tap.
And you get access to tabs you have open across all your devices, listed right there along the bottom. But of course, Safari is also blazing fast. In fact, when you look at the kind of JavaScript that's in
What?
typical websites,
What?
Safari is literally 6 times faster
Oh, okay, full
than
stop.
other browsers.
This can't be right.
Maybe
And when it
it's a new
comes to
one. I
battery
don't know.
life, no browser can compare to Safari. If you look at our 13-inch
Now, that's
MacBook
true.
Air, for instance, browsing in Safari gets you more than 2 hours greater battery life.
Safari will
than other
disable certain
major
elements on a
browsers.
page, like when you tab off of it and stuff to save battery life, and or if you put a window over the Safari screen, like if there's a flash animation, it'll suspend the flash animation, and then when you remove the window, it resumes it.
Yeah, I
It's not
believe there are
just
some
gorgeous, but it's
extensions
more
in Chrome
functional
and
than ever.
Firefox that you can get that do the exact same
you're
thing.
replying to a message and you need to fill out a form, you can use markup. You can even fill out your signature on a form right there inside the message. It's incredibly convenient. And you can also mark up your drawings, your pictures as well, which is a fantastic way to communicate. Now, Mail also now has Mail Drop.
What?
So you can send absolutely enormous attachments, up to 5 gigabytes, securely encrypted through iCloud.
HIPAA compliant?
Messages has a beautiful new design, for Yosemite as well. And it has powerful features like named group chats, easy location sharing, and really convenient access to all the photos that you share in your conversation.
I would rather have actual Markdown support in the email
Yeah.
client than markup support of.
Yeah,
New
seriously.
shelf across the
I don't know.
top with all of your recent additions to your library. And then there's iWork. It's the most popular desktop productivity suite across all Apple devices, and it's got a great update for Yosemite. In addition to this beautiful new design, it's more functional than ever with a sidebar that summarizes all the comments on documents that you have under review.
Yeah.
We even update to numbers, lots of power user features like the ability to transpose tables in a single step. And then there's Keynote with a customizable presenter display and these cool new text effects. It's really nice.
Super nice.
So
Not
next,
sold.
there's iCloud Drive. So with iCloud Drive, you can store any file in the cloud. It's accessible right from the Finder, right from the sidebar there, and you get access to the application folders of all of the applications.
Also
on
known
your
as
Mac.
Screw You,
Not
Dropbox.
just that, also the data that you have stored for
Well, they've had
applications
this
on your
like
iOS device.
iDrive
And
forever.
best yet,
Right,
you
yeah.
can put any other files you want in there and organize them however you want.
Now it's interesting though. This is not
with
what they're
tags,
showing you
search
looks like a
them,
file
and then
system,
access
but it's
them
actually a
across all of
database
your
abstraction. It
devices.
is
That's right.
not a file
iOS
system.
It's a
devices,
database
your
abstraction
Mac,
to your
and if you're having to work
offline,
under
To your
extreme
iCloud,
even
yeah,
on
online
iCloud
iCloud
PC.
storage.
So now,
And then you WebDAV mount it using the PC client there.
Yep.
so those are just some of the wonderful new user features in Yosemite.
Boy, he's got dry
Actually,
mouth.
what makes both Yosemite
He needs to take a
and
drink.
iOS 8 so special is the way that they work together. Now, working together is something we've been focused on for years now, and at the
Trippy
center
dippy.
of it is iCloud. It's almost easy to take for granted the way we can edit our contacts or update our calendar or to-dos or our Safari bookmarks, and we just know that it's going to be available to us across all of our devices. And now, with Yosemite and iOS 8, all of our documents with iCloud Drive and all of our photos and videos are synced with our iCloud photo library. We've also advanced on technologies for our devices to communicate in proximity, taking advantage of the most advanced Wi-Fi and Bluetooth low energy technologies. So now, with the latest Macs and iOS devices, you can actually AirDrop between iOS and OS X. And you can AirPlay to your Apple TV even without connecting to any Wi-Fi network. It's really awesome. But the area where I think we've really taken it over the top is with something we call continuity. Now, with continuity, your devices are aware of each other and allow you to work at any moment with the device that's right for that time. It starts with handoff, where you can work on one device and just pick up where you left off with just a swipe across the lock screen of another. And there's instant hotspot, so you can take advantage of the cellular data connection of your phone from your iPad or your Mac without even touching the phone in your bag. And there's the ability to receive text messages on any device. So not just your iMessages, but also you can send and receive SMSs from any of your devices. And finally, you can also make and receive regular telephone calls using your Mac as a speaker.
So if you're really hooked into the Google ecosystem, you can accomplish most of this. I think that the approach I like differently about Apple's here is it's happening over your LAN. It's happening over Wi-Fi, it's happening over Bluetooth, and you're using a full desktop application on one end. Whereas Google, it's often a web app or Hangouts, which is like some sort of Chrome app or something
Or some
like
sort
that.
of Chrome extension or something.
Yeah. And I'm just so sick of that.
Yeah.
Here about doubling down on secrecy at Apple. We want to preserve the same kind of airtight security, or secrecy rather, that makes the announcements at an event like today a shocking revelation to all of you. So I've been tasked to create a new employee orientation presentation. And so I've been taking some photos around campus about some of our new secrecy measures. We're tightening things down a little bit. So we see we're redacting some things in the menu. We don't want any leaks there. We've upgraded the door to Johnny's lab.
Wow. It's all white, too,
And,
you see.
I
It's all white.
favorite some of these photos because I think I'd like to incorporate them in my presentation. We're saving a step with the printer. It just goes straight into the shredder. And, of course, we've increased the number of lasers on the path to the bathroom. So that's good. So I can incorporate this right here in my presentation. We've got my cover slide here. And this looks like a good place to add that new content. But I actually have my iPad right here. And what's really great is with continuity, I can just pick up where I left off. You notice in the lower left-hand corner of the screen, my iPad's aware of what I've been doing on my phone. There's a little keynote icon. I can just swipe up, and it takes me right to that document in exactly the place where I was working. So it knows right where I am. And I'm just going to open this up. And we'll see that I can see my my photos here.
Goodbye autosave.
Let me try that again. There we go. There are the photos I just favorited. And just to show you that this is all completely live, I'm going to go back into my photo library here. I'm going to favorite this last photo with the lasers, give it a little heart. And you'll notice here on the iPad, it just shows up automatically right there. That's super cool.
That's nice for end users. It's going to be handy for them for sure.
And while I'm working on my iPad, my phone could even be across the house. And if I were to,
I think this is we all could roll our own solutions right now with Dropbox or something like that. But when I think of like my mom and stuff like that, I think that works for her.
Yeah, I don't know of a solution where you can literally be working on a document in one place.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's not as seamless. Yeah.
Apple spaceship, actual spaceship. Okay, well, it turns out in this case, unfortunately, they did nail it. So this would be a good one to add as a cautionary tale to my presentation. Now, I could do that right here on my iPad, but I've got this beautiful Mac right here. Let me just pick up where I left off on the Mac. So we'll just look at the Mac display, and you notice the Mac is aware of what I've been doing. You see right down here, it says that I was using Safari on my iPad. I click, and it takes me right to that same page. It's just magical.
It's interesting.
And of course, I can get to my presentation as well.
Probably screen aspect ratio.
We see I have iCloud Drive. Right here in the Finder,
what I'm noticing is you wouldn't be able to do this
my
if you say we're using Chrome or Firefox.
Right, yeah.
So I can open that
it's
up.
magical.
And of course, it takes me.
You got to use Safari on all ends.
Presentation. So let's add my picture
kind of a lock-in right there.
Controlling leaks. I can just drop that one right in there. That's really cool. And so next, I'm going to move on to the next slide in my presentation. And, I heard that our new chief of secrecy, Stephen Colbert, has some concerns about his part of the presentation. And so actually, I can give him a call from my Mac right here at his office. So let's just type up Stephen. There's his work number.
Really? Are they actually going to call Stephen Colbert?
And it's going to dial. My Mac's going to actually make a speakerphone call through my phone.
It's good to be
By
rich.
the way, I have the coolest job in the world. I get to talk to Stephen Colbert.
So he's calling him. I mean, we've kind of seen this before, though.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Stephen. It's Craig from Apple.
I'm sorry. I don't recognize that name.
Oh, right. Hello, Red Delicious. This is Granny Smith. Over.
Is the squirrel in the basket?
Roger, Foxtrot, Thunderbolt, Retina, Swift, Lightning.
Okay, the line is secure. Glad you called, Craig. I have some critical feedback. I have some very critical feedback on the content of your presentation today. Specifically, I've got a big problem with my title.
Well, Chief Secrecy Officer? That's a pretty impressive title.
I just don't think it's big enough to capture how important my role is at Apple. Okay, let me run this one by you. Hear me out. Supreme Allied Commander of Super Secrecy.
I don't know.
Craig, if Supreme Allied Commander was good enough for Ike, it's good enough for me. Okay, it beat Hitler. I would also accept Intergalactic Chancellor.
Intergalactic Chancellor. How about
Yes.
Supreme Commander?
You'll let Tim know?
Who?
I'm sorry, I mean Chairman Honeycrisp.
Oh, yes, yes. Yes, absolutely. I will let the chairman know.
Apples.
Glad you see things my way. Now, please, get back to work, because you know what I see when I look at my wrist? My wrist. Where's the watch? Chop, chop. I am jonesing from some jewelry, Craig.
I'll get right on it, Stephen.
All right. Over and out, Granny Smith.
Over and out, Red Delicious.
So the phone system works. I guess that was an elaborate way to prove that.
A very elaborate way.
I guess it seems very responsive, and it's supposed to be routing through his iPhone, right?
Yeah.
So I have one more slide to work on my presentation here. Oh, an email update from Phil about a new badging protocol. So check out this video. It really demonstrates Apple's commitment to badging excellence. Well, that's great. I'm going to drop that one in my presentation.
Yeah, I did like the VU meter in the notification bubble. That is cool.
What's really cool is I have an Apple TV. We can bring that up here, and we can see I can actually AirPlay from my Mac to my Apple TV.
Finally.
Just like this.
I mean, really?
And project my presentation that way, so we can enjoy the presentation I've put together. And of course, to control the presentation, the best remote you have is the one you're wearing on your wrist.
Oh, what a jerk.
So,
what a jerk.
I'll just bring up a remote here.
Yeah, and don't work. That'd be hilarious. Don't work. That'd be so hilarious.
There's our secrecy team.
It's working.
Of course, we've got the path to the bathroom, controlling leaks, our new Supreme Commander, and let's take a look at that video from Phil. Jump in.
A lot of jokes in this. Wow.
See you at lunch.
Oh, yeah. That's what's his face, one of the execs. And he can't get
Phil
out.
Schiller.
No, that's not Phil. It's another guy. I don't know their name, but. All right, that's funny, but it's not a new iPad.
Now have a full understanding of continuity. All right, so this is just a quick overview of the amazing new Yosemite release, from its beautiful new design, powerful Spotlight search, iCloud Drive, the amazing and elegant new Safari, and of course, these continuity features. Now, there's much, much more to Yosemite than I can possibly cover today, but the good news is I don't have to, because now all of you can get access to Yosemite on the Mac App Store today.
That's out today. Here come all the reviews.
It's available
Here's the price.
for free.
Oh.
There's also 8.1, which has its support for Apple Pay, also iCloud Photo Library, and continuity available for download.
So one thing that's neat about Yosemite is it does introduce the option to use DuckDuckGo for built-in search. That's cool.
Finally, iWork, an update for OS X, also for iOS, also available today, and also free.
As in
that
cost.
is my quick update on iOS 8 and OS X Yosemite. Thank you.
Now it's iPad time.
Back to you, Tim.
Thanks, Craig.
Here comes Apple Chris to tell us about iPads. He's got something hanging from his back
It's
there.
really great to have Stephen on board.
His mic.
I hope he can do a better job than I've done on controlling those lids. I'd like to now
There's the shirt's all
talk
screwed up.
about iPad. The iPad is this simple and magical device.
Magical.
It's always been a unique blend of simplicity and capability. But while the iPad has been beautifully simple on the outside since the very first one, it has advanced technology just jam-packed on the inside. From Apple's custom-designed powerful chips, to the ultra-fast Wi-Fi and cellular connectivity, to the incredible iSight and FaceTime cameras. The technology is jam-packed in this incredibly thin and light package that you can take with you everywhere you go and use all day long. And as we packed more and more power and more performance and more capability in iPad, our customers and developers had begun to use it in ways we could not imagine.
Porn.
And now as you look around, iPad is everywhere. It's transforming the way we work, the way we learn, the way we play. And it's transforming the way we communicate.
Hello, everybody.
With so many people using iPad for so many things in so many different places, it's not surprising that we've sold more iPads in the first 4 years than we've sold at any product in our history.
Wow, so here comes some number porn.
In fact, we've sold over 225 million iPads around the world.
Including the ones they no longer support.
Yeah, but, you know.
To put this in a little more perspective, if you look at the top 4 by volume PC manufacturers, the number of sales that they've done for the last 12 months and compare that to iPad, iPad beats them all.
Unless you combine them.
And this is their entire PC lineup, every notebook, every desktop, every 2-in-1, every all-in-one, every toaster refrigerator in one, all of them. This is pretty fantastic, and not by a little, but by a lot. But what's more important to us is that iPad has consistently been rated #1 in customer satisfaction. This is what makes our hearts sing.
Show us that
And
same graph with
iPad
Max on it.
Mini Retina has scored an unbelievable 100% customer sat.
Yeah, they don't talk about the Mac numbers either. But, you know, if the PC guys are going to quote their sales as part of their PC sales, Apple should do the same, I suppose.
True. Customer sat.
It's
And so why
all a
are
mix.
so many iPad users so satisfied? We think it comes back to this unique blend of simplicity and capability. And the fact that you can do so many things on iPad and you have such a great experience doing it. At the root of this is that we have over 675,000 apps in the App Store that have been custom designed to take advantage of the big, beautiful screen on iPad. And this is a huge advantage over our competition. The Verge said it well. A tablet is only as good as what you can do with it. And thanks to the hundreds of thousands of apps for the iPad Air, you can do more with it than any other tablet.
porn.
This was one of the reasons they named the iPad Air the best tablet you can buy. So iPad
Also most
Air is
expensive.
#1 in customer sat.
It is kind of amazing this far into it, nobody else is really matching it.
Yeah.
It's #1 in education. It's #1 in enterprise. It's #1 in consumer. When we launched the iPad Air just a year ago, we did so by showing that all of this power of the iPad was in a design that was so thin. It was thinner than a pencil. You may remember this. So what do you do when you make the best tablet in the world? How do you make it better?
You bend it.
You do this.
Ooh, right into a video. He's getting smooth.
Yeah. I was not expecting that.
Dat Tim Cook.
Yeah.
Fire torpedoes.
Whoa!
They're they're shaving down the pencil.
Shoot. It's gonna burn up.
Hilarious.
Clever.
And is that gold?
Yes.
This
And when does it become too thin?
When you can wobble it in the air.
This is the new iPad Air 2.
Wow.
It's unbelievably gorgeous, and look how thin it is.
He almost can't even hold it.
See it?
Can't you even see it? I don't know about that
so
gold. Oh my
incredible.
gosh.
Oh my gosh. That's,
And to tell you more about it, I'd like to invite Phil Schiller up.
Here he is.
Here comes Phil.
Thank you, Tim.
Tell me about the battery life.
Battery for days.
Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone.
Hi.
I'm so excited to be able to tell you about the incredible new iPad Air 2.
We cut out half the battery.
It is the thinnest iPad we have ever made, just 6.1 millimeters thin. That's 18% thinner than their first iPad Air, which was already 20% thinner than the iPad before it. It makes it the world's thinnest tablet. It is incredibly beautiful to hold all day long. The progress the team has
As my
made over
wife
just the
would say,
last
what's
couple
with
of
all
years
this
is
emphasis on thin?
unbelievable. Here's the original first iPad next to the new iPad Air 2. The new iPad Air 2 is so thin, you can stack two of them and still be thinner than the original iPad. It is amazing. What the team has done to pack so much technology and performance into the thinnest iPad is unbelievable. So how did they do it? Well, let's start with the display. The
My wife
display
would also say this
is made
is
up of a
messing with
number of
ladies' body
components,
images.
primarily the LCD, the touch layer, and glass. And in every iPad, there's been a micro-thin layer of air between each of those layers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not satisfied with that, the
No
team
more gap?
has optically bonded those together, laminated them to make a single component with no air gap. And that reduces the internal reflection and makes a sharper image and a thinner display. It makes the graphics and the text feel like they sit right on top and you're touching them with your finger. It's really beautiful. In addition, we've now created an anti-reflective coating for this multi-touch surface.
No, there's
this
rumors
has never
about that.
been done in a tablet before. It reduces reflections by 56%, making it even more beautiful as an image. So it is an incredible display. It is the only tablet that has this kind of a surface and has the lowest reflectivity of any tablet.
In order to pull that off, you
So
would
this will
have
be
to
the
melt
best
those parts
tablet
together.
display you've ever seen in the thinnest tablet. But
Means
there's
it's
so
glued
much
together.
more that makes
Yeah.
iPad Air 2 great.
A8,
It starts with the
A8X.
brains inside it. A whole new generation chip, A8X. You've heard of the A8 chip with the iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus, and it's blowing people away. Well, this is a new version created specifically for iPad Air 2. It is unbelievable. It's a second generation 64-bit architecture. It has 3 billion transistors. The iPad Air had an A7 with 1 billion transistors. 3 billion.
40%
Delivers up
faster
to 40% faster CPU performance for most of your apps. Some apps can achieve 2x performance in CPU. And the graphics are out of this world. 2.5 times faster what was already the industry-leading graphic performance.
I think clearly Apple has an
What the
advantage
team
by
has
building
done.
their own chip.
The original iPad started with an
Yeah.
A4 chip, and now
Definitely lowers the
we're
cost.
12 times
Wonder how it
faster
compares
than
to some of
that
the later
iPad Air
Tegra stuff.
2. But check out this graphics performance. We're now at 180 times faster. Add to that the work the software team is doing with technologies like Metal to let developers get full access to that performance without any software overhead. And we're able to now deliver console-level graphics in the palm of your hand. And that's what a lot of the developers are doing. We're working with game developers, and they're now bringing the engines, not from their mobile gaming, but from their desktop gaming systems right onto iPad Air 2. And all this power in such a thin package, the team has worked to ensure that you have that great all-day battery life, 10 hours of battery, so you don't have to give up any of that. Along with the A8X, we have the new M8 motion coprocessor. This works to read data from the sensors like the accelerometer and gyroscope, and it instantly calibrates it so all your apps get incredibly accurate data. And there's also the new barometer for measuring relative elevation.
We haven't gotten screen resolution yet.
Too. But perhaps the feature people love the most about their iPads is the camera.
Wow.
No.
The built-in eyesight
No.
camera.
Unfortunately, I think it is.
Some people have been surprised
think
by
so?
that, but it really makes a lot of sense.
Gosh, that's a...
The iPad is the best viewfinder for composing your photos and your videos. You can see the scene. You can take incredible photos. You can edit them right on the device and share them instantly with people around the world.
Sorry, I still prefer
Not
the
only
optical
do we all
viewfinder
like
on
taking
my
pictures and
SLR.
videos, but developers like taking advantage of these cameras to build incredible applications that haven't existed on any other platform. Things like applications for helping coaches train their players with Coach's Eye, or consumer apps like Prismo that lets you scan and translate documents on the fly, or apps like Caribou that let a parent read with FaceTime to their children from anywhere around the world, or Home Styler that lets you create a virtual reality image of your own home, then lay out the furniture and interior design of it.
Do it.
This and hundreds of more applications take
Not with
full
that
advantage
pattern.
of the cameras we build into the iPad. And they, the developers and the customers who use these apps, are going to love the new iSight camera. It's a huge jump forward for iPad. It's a full new 8-megapixel iSight camera. It has large 1.12 micron pixels, has a fast 2.4 aperture. It takes photos and 1080p HD video. It has a great sensor. It's combined with the Apple design lens, but really what rounds it out is the brains behind it all, the image signal processing that's done in that 8X chip. And it does an incredible job. I'm going to show you some photos now that were taken with an iPad Air 2, unretouched, right off of it, and tell me you're not going to be blown away that these were taken with an iPad. Look at that photo. That's a beautiful landscape scene. You can see the quality of the auto HDR that creates a big, amazing
but I can also see
exposure.
noise in the sky. I believe
Look
that's
at
an
the low
iPad camera.
noise in that
Oh, yeah.
blue sky. And it is a remarkable
Did you just say
photo.
no noise in that blue sky?
Low noise. It is low noise.
It is
Yeah.
low noise. I'll
We're
give
just
you
not going
that.
to believe these are taken
Yeah.
with the iPad. You bring
And
with
we're
you
looking
to
them
do
through a
work,
compressed
and you're
stream.
taking
That's
incredible
true.
photos with it. Here's a shot from above the Golden Gate Bridge. You see the incredible accurate color it delivers.
That is pretty
and
cool.
the great depth of field. Here's my favorite of the bunch. It's a portrait photo. The skin tones are just perfect. The background is painterly. It's an amazing photo. Of course, we all love taking macros and showing them to the world. Here's a great one. Look at the level of detail in the feathers. You can't tell, is that taxidermy or live? Don't worry, it's live. For the first
No
time with
animals were
iPad,
harmed
you
in
can
the
take
production of
large
this
panoramas
presentation.
up to 43 megapixels. So you take your iPad on vacation, you can share.
Wow, somebody had to go there and take
mountain
that picture.
scenery
That
with
was
all
must have
your
been a fun
friends.
trip. Look at that.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
For the first time on
Got some
iPad, you can
HDR
take
going on
burst
in there. You can tell.
mode photos. So
There's no way you can
taking
get
something
that
that has
detail
high-speed
without.
action, you can grab it, just like this photo. Yeah, isn't that incredible? For the first time with the iPad iSight camera, you can do time-lapse. So here's a time-lapse. It's taken in Venice. You maybe recognize it. Now, there's a group of boats that are going to start coming down together. See,
Hyperlapse.
there they are. That was the George Clooney wedding party that came by as we were shooting that.
Wow.
That's cool.
I want to be the person that does these trips.
Yeah, me
Still waiting
too.
for
Me
my
too.
invitation.
It's like a dream
This we
job for
took
me.
recently in Albuquerque at the Balloon Fiesta, that gathering there. It's a lot of fun.
You just I guess you set the iPad and let it run for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
What's that battery life like, Phil?
Also, for the first time on iPad, you can do slow-mo videos. Yeah, customers are going to love taking
Slow-mo.
these. This is 120 frames per second at 720p.
No, not 240 like you get in 6.
Pretty cool.
Dirty iPad.
Yep. That's gonna be a lot
You
to
heard
clean
that
up right
audio.
there.
There's now dual microphones to get
Oh.
better quality audio in your videos
Nice.
as well. Well, in addition to the all-new iSight camera and all those capabilities, there's a new FaceTime camera on the front side as well. A whole new FaceTime camera sensor. Has a larger 2.2 aperture. It lets
right.
in 80% more light.
All right, that's a lot of light.
Combined with the 8X chip, you get improved face detection. For the first time, you can do burst selfies, which kids love to do. This chip is amazing. It does HDR with a single image, not combining multiple images, which keeps it really sharp. And you can do videos with HDR as well. So with all these great new cameras, all this great new performance, also faster connectivity too.
What about Apple
iPad
Pay?
Air 2 is faster Wi-Fi, 802.11 AC with MIMO. That delivers 2.8 times faster performance, up to 866 megabit per second throughput. There's also faster LTE with more bands. There's up to 150 megabit per second. That's using carrier aggregation.
20 LTE
And it's
bands.
20
Wow.
LTE bands. That's more than any other tablet. So it connects at high LTE speeds on more networks around the world. But perhaps the most requested feature
Touch
from
ID.
customers is Touch ID.
You knew that was coming.
Oh, yeah. Mile away.
Now, like many of us, if you have Touch ID on your iPhone, you've probably picked up your iPad and put your finger on the home button, only to see that it doesn't unlock because you didn't have Touch ID. We get used to it so quickly. Well, now with iPad Air 2, there is Touch ID, and it reads your fingerprint and quickly unlocks your iPad without having to enter your passcode. And it works with our stores, so you can purchase in the iTunes Store and the App Store. And it works with the new iOS 8 developer apps that support Touch ID, so you can unlock Evernote or Mint or your Day One journal just with your fingerprint.
Android has got to get this.
Yeah.
Across the board.
And as you know, all of us who use
Gotta happen. I
iPads,
can
well,
see it
we're
coming to
prodigious
Nexus devices
shoppers.
first,
We
to be
love to use our
honest,
iPad to sit
it's
back
gotta
and surf the
happen.
web
No
and make
swipe
purchases, and
fingerprint
particularly
either.
with
No,
all those
no.
675,000 apps, many of them help us make purchases. And now with Touch ID, you'll be able to use Apple Pay to make online purchases. Now, this isn't for retail point-of-sale purchase. This is for online purchasing within all the apps. They're going to support Apple Pay, and there are going to be many of them growing starting on Monday. So it'll be the best way to shop
Yeah,
online.
the Apple Pay integration with the App Store is going to make it almost a success just right there.
iOS 8.1 that Craig just showed us and all the incredible features it has.
Shipping with 8.1.
And our developers have had a great time using the performance of the A8X chip and taking advantage of all the power in iPad 2 to do remarkable things. And developers have too. We've given a few of them early access to the iPad Air 2 and to see what they can do with it with their incredible applications. Well, I'd like to show you two of those this morning. The first
new generation
is
of
a great
apps.
team. The two brothers started a company in Lithuania, and they've had a hit application on OS X called Pixelmator. Perhaps you know it. It's a professional quality image editing
Have you ever seen
application.
Pixelmator?
I have
It's been
not.
a big hit on the Mac, and now they're here today to show you
maybe I
the
have,
work
I
they're
just
doing
don't
on
remember.
iPad. I'd like to
Happens
bring up
sometimes.
Itis.
It's what
to
Angela
tell you all
uses.
about
It's
it.
sort of like if you were going to redo Photoshop and do it better and only the things you needed.
Oh,
Yeah.
so almost like Photoshop Express type thing, but better.
I guess. I don't know, really. I haven't used it.
After
But
2 years of work, we are really excited to show you the new Pixelmator for iPad today. It's a full-featured image editing app. We are going to open a 4K image of the Arabian Desert. It's really exciting that
4K.
we can work so smoothly with large images like this. The new iPad handles those images faster and better than ever before. We created a graphic by using the shadow of the actual oryx in the sand and some text, which we'll bring in as a new layer. I'd like to place it here at the bottom, but you see there is a straggler oryx that would interfere with the graphic. So let's remove the oryx right now. We were able to bring our repair tool from our award-winning Mac version to the iPad, and it works fantastic. By simply brushing over the oryx, our app will take care of removing it, but still maintain the background.
what?
That is 2 times faster on the new iPad compared
What?
to iPad
Well, it's
Air.
not perfect, but it'll do it. You can do that with a
Notice how
healing
the
brush in
texture in the sand
Photoshop, but
is
that does
intact
it automatically.
until the oryx is gone.
That's pretty neat.
Let's place
Yes.
the graphic back at the bottom and size it to fit. Now, let's blend the graphic with the background to complement the color of the sand. Next, I'd like to apply a filter to enhance the color and darken the edges a bit. We can adjust the depth and strength of the effect.
Oh, that's a neat
Notice
interface.
the very fast response time.
That's cool.
So that's a quick peek of Pixelmator for iPad coming
I just
later
couldn't see
this
myself
month
photo
in the
editing on
App
touch like
Store.
that, though.
The
Yeah.
power of the new
Give
iPad
me a
is
touch
perfect
pad.
for the
Give
new
me,
Pixelmator.
give me
A
a
mouse?
We've
mouse.
seen
Yeah.
improvement
Give
of
me a-
up to 3 times in many
My mom
aspects.
prefers
Wacom
it.
tablet
My
would
mom,
do
who does,
It's
you know,
a
she does graphic arts
fantastic
for her
memory
living, and she
that
prefers
will
a
make
trackball
image editing
because that way she
a
never has to pick up the
Thank
mouse
you.
and move it.
That makes sense. I've known even video editors who have preferred Wacom tablets. They just get more precision that way.
Next, there's an exciting new video editing application that has everyone a buzz. It's called Replay. It's from a bunch of brilliant scientists from France. And to tell you all about it, I'd like to bring up Jeff Boudier to show you what they've been up to. Welcome, Jeff.
With Replay, you can use your iPad to create amazingly rich videos without knowing anything about editing. With me is my co-founder, François. Let's take a look. We all take so many photos, so many videos. Often we don't have time to do anything with them. Like these videos from a trip in Utah. To make a nice movie edit out of all this, it would take me hours of work, right? Well, let's select all these clips and see how long it takes Replay to make a movie.
What? That can't work. Let's try this for Ohio Fest.
My movie is already playing. What just happened?
What just happened?
Thank you.
It's your software, buddy.
In one tap, Replay analyzed all my videos, added beautiful motion graphics, and synchronized everything to the beat of the music. Okay, let's do it again.
I mean, let's be honest. You're going to use this if you're going to post this to your Facebook page, and you want to just take a bunch of clips and make it a little cooler, right?
Yeah.
This isn't
runs computer vision algorithms.
You're not going to produce a
Find the
podcast
best
with this.
accent color for
Correct.
each video, then desaturates the rest. And with Metal, this code runs 20 times faster than using the CPU.
Yeah, I bet they're using a lot of what Google Plus Auto Awesome does, only this you have a little bit more control over it.
But this style is too romantic. Let's try something more vibrant.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's all
I
gonna
love
be
how
stock
Replay
music.
picks the
Yeah.
background colors to match the videos. Now
Huh.
I want to add a text slide. Let me show you
So it
how
looks at the
easy
color
it
in the
is.
video frame.
How about
You might be able to pull in
Twitter
music from your library.
Oh,
just
perhaps.
as easy. I can add captions, trim videos, or reorder things. The result, again, is instant.
It's road trip
We
typing on the
created a
iPad.
custom rendering engine on top of OpenGL. And with each new processor, Replay gets faster. And with A8X, we get 4 times faster rendering than on A7.
I don't know. I'm just not impressed. I
Now,
think it's way too much
I'm
flashing.
really excited to show you something.
It'll be
never
good for
before.
Facebook posts.
Yeah.
Really.
It's very
And
Hollywood.
that's, you know.
Maybe that's me just being picky as a
Yeah.
former professional
See how
video
the
editor.
light
Yeah.
interacts with the text? I can even
Yeah,
set the
like
lighting.
Tacky says in the chat room, like maybe you're out on the trip, people want to see an update. You know, this makes it look more interesting.
Yeah.
And Replay renders
I
in
agree. You are being
real time
picky
on
as
the
a professional
iPad.
video
This is
editor. This is
full
for
desktop
video
mode.
editing for normal people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We believe
I
video
think so.
creation should be easy and instant. With this new iPad and Metal, our vision becomes reality.
There's a lot. You got to
This
imagine there's a
will
lot of
be
technology happening in the
available
back end on a
October,
tablet
and
right
you
there.
can
It's
get
pretty.
Replay for free
That
on the
is
App Store
impressive
today.
for,
We can't wait to
you know,
see
just
what's
doing it
coming.
automated.
The processing and extracting out the primary colors and setting the backgrounds and then rendering those, even though they're simple motion graphics, you're still having to render those in real time.
Yeah.
So those are just 2 examples from the over 675,000 apps on the App Store that take unique advantage of iPad. And you can see now the apps are doing things on iPad on a thin mobile device that previously would have taken the highest end desktop computers to do. And you can do this anywhere you go. So this is the new iPad Air 2, packed with an incredible range of new technologies and innovation. Next generation Retina display with no air gaps and anti-reflective coating. Our second generation 64-bit chip for iPad, the A8X.
So are they not going to just tell us? I guess it's just the same
billion
resolution
transistors.
as before.
The new 8-megapixel
Must be.
iSight camera and all those incredible features. The new FaceTime HD camera, ultra-fast 802.11 AC wireless, and 20 bands of LTE
Battery
for
life?
fast performance around the
Battery
world.
life?
And of course, the most requested feature, Touch ID. All of this packed into the thinnest iPad we have ever made. You just have to hold it outside when you get a chance to see just how incredible this is. It will blow you away.
Battery.
So if you want to get one, and if you're like me, you're just dying to, what will it cost? Well, first, it comes in silver, space gray, and the new gold that you've seen here. And it starts at $499. That's the price of the previous iPad Air for Wi-Fi with 16 gigs. $599 for 64 gigs. That's $100 less than before. And $699 for 128 gigs. Again, $100 less expensive than before. So
Less than the LTE
much more
would be another
power,
100 and something.
great new features, thinner device, and more affordable. There are also cellular versions for $130 more.
Woo!
And that is the new iPad Air 2. At
Oh,
the
you
same
said 10
time,
hours. Okay.
We have an update
Okay.
today
It's
the
for
same as the
iPad
last
Mini
one.
as well. We call it iPad Mini 3. It's the 3rd generation of iPad Mini.
Touch ID.
It comes in silver, space gray, and gold. And of course, it includes the new Touch ID feature as well.
All those cameras going in the background.
Mm-hmm.
It will start at $399, $499, and $599.
You can hear the
memory
shirt noise on his
configurations,
mic.
Yeah.
and have cellular versions as
Rubbing.
well. And both iPad Air 2, iPad Mini 3 are made in the most environmentally friendly way possible. And we're really proud of this and always want to point it out. So those are the two new lines of iPad. iPad Air 2, iPad Mini 3.
Look, Google, when they announced their tablet, they announced the price.
Isn't
Isn't
that
that
interesting? Air in the
interesting?
line and reduce them by $100 so everyone has something at each price.
So the
point.
existing iPads remain
Those are more
$100
affordable
cheaper.
as well.
$299 now for the
And
cheapest iPad.
The original iPad Mini, we're going to continue to sell it
What?
now at an all-new price of just $249.
That's brutal.
Previously it was $299.
Wow.
That thing's
So
underpowered.
that now means our lineup has the lowest price point
As I
ever
recall,
for
that
iPad,
one didn't get great
$249.
reviews.
That's
It means
that.
iPad 2,
That is
Mini
weird.
2 and iPad Air have been reduced by $100. We have an all-new iPad Mini 3 and all-new iPad Air 2 at the high end.
So
with more
$250 is the
features and
cheapest iPad.
capabilities and the thinnest iPad we've ever offered.
Still
So a lot
$100
of
more than
changes.
No word
my
about
tablet.
no word about
Higher
Apple Pay.
line. To get iPad Mini 3 and iPad Air 2, you can start to order them tomorrow. We'll take pre-orders tomorrow, October 17th, and they'll begin to ship by the end of next week. So that's iPad.
So do you think we're going to see a Mac update, or do you think they're done?
I think we're going to see a Mac update. It's been a while.
Yep. I think it's time to talk about the Mac.
I think this graphic says a lot in a very simple image about the things we create, how beautiful they are, how incredibly advanced they are at each category, and how each one is pushing on the next to be even better and to do even more. As iPad continues to evolve and challenge what a computer can be that you can hold all day long, it then challenges us at the higher end to move those forward as well. And nobody's better at that than Apple. Let's talk a little bit about what's happening with the Mac. We have the best lineup we've ever had. It's the 30th birthday of the Mac this year. And these are the best ever.
I'm old.
And their results are fantastic. If you look at Mac compared to the rest of the industry, this is based on the last quarter.
So industry's
The Mac
-1.
grew 18% year over year, while the rest of the industry didn't do as well. And the reason is very simple.
I think
Our
they're just talking
customers
about Windows.
love their Macs.
Have to be.
This summer we updated MacBook Air. It got faster, better battery life, better value. People bought them like crazy, and the reviews were off the charts. I think this one said it best. From the Wall Street Journal, the MacBook Air is the best laptop ever made. Who are we to argue? For customers who want a higher level of performance, they love the MacBook Pro. It delivers all-day battery life, incredible performance, and best of all, that beautiful Retina display. Now, it's been really fun to watch the migration of the Retina display. It started with iPhone, moved into iPod Touch, and moved into iPad.
Talking about
and
Retina.
into the Mac with the MacBook Pro.
Eyeballs.
Well, today, we're really happy for you to see the continued march of this incredible Retina technology.
iMac
and
with
the
Retina.
next step
Yep.
we're going to take with it.
Here comes iMac with Retina. That was kind of what everybody said. And I guess this is good for video editors.
Yeah.
Oh, it's growing on a Retina display. Now it's on an iPad Retina display.
iPad Mini Retina display. There's the MacBook.
This is a neat concept. And that's got to be the iMac.
Yeah, easily. But yeah, as a video editor, that would be amazeballs.
So yes,
Wow.
we are
5,210
so
by
excited
2,800.
to tell you about the all-new
Or 2,800.
iMac with Retina display.
That's crazy.
There has never been a desktop display like this. It is simply stunning. You have never seen a level of detail in a desktop display as you'll see with this iMac. It is truly remarkable. It's a 27-inch display that has 5,120 pixels by 2,880 pixels. If you're really fast with math, you know that is an insane 14.7 million pixels on one display. It is the world's highest resolution display. It is an incredible feat of engineering. We call it the Retina 5K display. So to put it in context, we all look at HD TVs all day. They're 1920 by 1080. Let's overlay those pixels on top of the Retina 5K display.
Wow.
There are 7 times more pixels on the Retina 5K display than on your HD TV. And let's compare that to the new standard 4K digital cinema. And there it is, 496 by 2160. The Retina display still has 67% more
What GPU do they have in this
that.
thing?
It is stunning. What's more remarkable is the work the engineering team to fit those 14.7 million pixels into our beautiful iMac design that's just 5 millimeters thin. It was an incredible feat of engineering. It took a lot of invention. It starts with the chip that controls the display. It's called a timing controller, or TCON. One didn't exist to drive this display quickly and efficiently, so our team had to invent one. It started with having to create a new material, oxide TFT, to be able to charge those pixels quickly and evenly across the whole display. It meant taking technology from our Retina iPad display, organic passivation, to reduce crosstalk because those pixels are getting so close together to keep the image really sharp and beautiful. It took building a new backlight technology, an LED backlight that's just as bright as previously, but consumes less power and is thinner. And all put together, this new display with 4 times the number of pixels of the previous version uses almost 1/3 less energy. That's incredible work. And to make it even more beautiful, we use our Apple photo alignment technology to give higher contrast ratios on axis, and a new compensation film so it looks better off axis.
Wow, they're really breaking this down.
It is a remarkable feat of engineering and the most beautiful desktop display for everything you do. When you read text,
or like patent.
I don't know. I'm feeling like we need a video.
Quality.
I feel like we need
if you work with photos, you'll have never worked on a desktop display with this level of detail.
Yeah, for photos, it's going to be killer.
And if you love to edit video, like here in Final Cut Pro, you've never had the ability to do 4K video editing, pixel for pixel, with room left over
That's
for
the
your
thing.
bins
That's why
and
5K
timelines.
matters, is because it gives you room for
And
the
if you're
Chrome
Craig
and all
and
that
you've
kind of
worked so
stuff.
hard on a beautiful version of OS X, there has never been a display to show off that great new user interface as beautiful as this new Retina 5K display. We have a brief video to tell you a little bit more
there you
about
go.
it.
The Mac enables people to do amazing things. And for many people, it's the most important creative tool that they use. And what we really love doing is making it better. On an iMac, the experience begins with the display. And now we're really proud to introduce the first iMac with a Retina 5K display.
Wow. That is pretty
With
nuts.
14.7 million pixels, this goes way beyond HD. It gives the ultimate all-in-one computer the ultimate display. And it means you see incredible detail on a scale that just hasn't been done before on a desktop. We started by moving to an oxide TFT, or thin film transistor panel. Oxide TFT is needed to get these many millions of pixels to charge quicker and then stay charged longer. We manufactured an oxide TFT-based display more precisely than had ever been done before. One of the great results is the vivid brightness you see across the whole screen. Communicating to all of those pixels requires a lot of brain power. In a display, it's called the timing controller, or TCON. The TCON tells every pixel what to do and when to do it. For this new Retina display, a TCON didn't exist that could do the job. We had to create it. This single, incredibly advanced chip is responsible for directing millions of pixels. Whether you're looking at photos, or text, or even editing 4K video, the picture is stunning. We've also improved the contrast ratio, so you'll get brighter whites and darker blacks from any viewing angle.
It's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
When I'm working on imagery, I need to see the details in it
Bryce Duffy.
to make accurate judgments of color and
Photographer.
exposure, to be able to make it look on screen.
Man, they go to some great
exactly how it
locations for
appeared
these
to me
videos.
When I saw it in reality.
Yeah, I bet you this whole
For this
video
display to be
just probably
possible,
cost them a cool million.
millions of pixels have to be driven with more energy efficiency. We use power-saving LEDs and organic passivation, which enables a clear, accurate signal to be sent to each pixel. This dramatically increases the display's performance and image quality, while actually decreasing its power usage by 30%.
Huh.
Every photograph I shoot, there's so much work to be done before it's really finished. To get there, the tools I use need to be powerful and precise. And now that I've had a chance to experience the sharpness and the resolution and the incredible tonal range in the new iMac, I just can't imagine a better tool for the work I do.
Of course,
With
he's
its
using
stunning
Iris.
Retina 5K display and all of this new capability, the new 27-inch iMac is by far the most amazing iMac we've ever built.
Every single thing they talked about in there, every single component, patented.
So not only have we built an iMac with the most incredible display we've ever made, but throughout the product line, we've updated everything to make it the best iMac ever. So if you look inside it, it has the fastest chips we've ever put in an iMac.
So it starts with an
starts
i5.
with a 3.5 gigahertz Intel
Wow, 3.5.
quad-core i5,
Oh.
but upgradable to 4 gigahertz i7, the fastest ever in an iMac. The graphics of a Radeon R9 M290X, upgradable to a 295X. So how fast is that? The previous fastest chip in an iMac was 2.4 teraflops of compute power. Not bad. This is 3.5 teraflops, 45% faster than the previous version. I/O is faster as well. It is now Thunderbolt 2, 20 megabit per second bandwidth per port. It's faster storage, standard terabyte Fusion drive. And it's all built together, like all of our products, in the most environmentally friendly manner, including
Standard with
supporting
Fusion
the
drive.
latest Energy Star 6.1. So it's a very efficient desktop product.
Fusion Drive, where are we on the Enterprise?
So what does this amazing state-of-the-art new iMac cost? Well, let's make a comparison.
I wonder.
If you've ever tried to buy a high-end display, for example, a new 4K IPS TFT display, not quite as many pixels as the iMac, not quite as beautiful display, but still not bad. You know that these range in the price of $3,000 or more.
The nice ones, not
So that's
the
why
newer
we're
ones.
really
but-
excited to tell you the new iMac with Retina 5K display is going to cost $24.99.
Oh, okay, it's
reasonable.
That's reasonable for, I guess, an Apple markup. Yeah, it's hard to say with Apple prices.
Throw in an entire computer.
Oh,
It's got
okay.
a 3.5 gigahertz i5 standard.
Yeah, it's not just the display.
Radeon
it's the whole
R9 chip.
Yeah.
8 gigs of memory and a terabyte Fusion drive.
That's not too bad, really.
And it starts to ship today.
Okay. All right.
So that is the new iMac with
You know,
Retina
for
display.
editing, that's a
Joins
pretty
the
good
rest of
starting
the
price
iMac
for a
line.
5K display,
21
actually. Then you
inch
throw in a
iMac
4
starting at
gigahertz
$1099.
CPU.
27-inch iMac
Yep.
starting at
Hit the high
$1799.
end
And
on
new iMac with Retina 5K display at $2499.
Oh, but you know what? The Mac Mini is what I want to hear
to
about.
see it and experience the incredible images that it produces. There has
we can do
never
with the
been
Mac
a
Mini.
desktop computer
A lot
like
power.
it.
It's been a
I think
long
it's
time since the
perfect
Mac-
fitting to the 30th birthday of Macintosh. We have one
Mac
other
Mini
small
hasn't had
update
a
today.
update
And that's
forever.
a computer that a lot of our customers love who are getting their very first Mac.
It's been
It's called Mac Mini.
723 days since they
Perhaps
updated the
you've
Mac
added
Mini.
one to your own home network. But we have a whole new version today. It's updated with faster processors, 4th generation Intel Core
There it is.
processors, faster graphics, Intel Iris and HD Graphics 5000, faster storage, PCIe-based flash storage, faster Wi-Fi, 802.11ac, and now has 2 Thunderbolt 2 ports. So it's packed with all the I/O you need in a very
See, we want a backup stream recording machine, and this was kind of the one that was on my list, but I wasn't going to buy a machine that hasn't been updated for over 700 days.
Yeah, so now
which is really
that's
great.
a possibility.
A lot
Maybe.
of customers choose this for their first Mac.
The storage could be an
Previously,
issue.
Mac Mini started at $599.
And the price.
Yeah,
The new,
that's an
faster, more capable Mac Mini starts at just $499. And it's shipping today as well. So that's
Okay.
our update for the Mac. Let me turn it back to Tim.
Wonder how that would run Arch.
Probably scream
What
on
do you
Arch.
think? It's very cool stuff.
Yeah, at that price, it does compete with a fully built-out NUC.
This is the strongest lineup of products that Apple has ever had. And we believe that each one of these play a very important role. People need different types of technology for the way they live their lives. We all do different things. In fact, many of us and many of our customers use more than one of our products every day.
Really?
Weird.
Sometimes you want to sit at your desk in front of a huge, beautiful, immersive screen packed with powerful technology. And we've made that much better today with the Retina 5K screen for iMac. Sometimes you want to take that powerful technology with you wherever you go. And we've made our notebooks even better this year with MacBook Air and MacBook Pro. Sometimes you want to be close to your content, touching it. And we've made that experience even better today with the iPad Air 2, more powerful and incredibly thin. Sometimes you want to hold that powerful technology in the palm of your hand. And there's no better thing for your hand than the iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus.
Nothing better for your hand.
And soon, you can wear that powerful technology right on your wrist. Now, this incredible lineup of products and the ecosystem that supports them is something only Apple can create. They're designed to be incredible products individually, but they're also designed to work together seamlessly. And because we create both the hardware and the software, we can deliver something that no one else can do. A simple, intuitive, and yes, a magical experience for our customers. This is our vision of personal technology, and we are just getting started. I'd like to thank all the teams at Apple that have worked so hard for not only this year, much of what you see here is multi-years of work to bring these products out on top of all the other things that you've seen during the day. They are doing the best work of their lives. And I and the executive team really appreciate it.
As he slaps his mic saying I.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As an audio engineer, that always drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I want to invite all of you to come across the hall to get your eyes on this Retina 5K display. You're not going to believe it. It's killer.
Yeah.
And to hold the iPad Air.
Apple TV boom. No.
And see how thin and powerful it is. We've also have a station set up next door so that you can try out Apple Pay if you haven't tried it yet, and you can be among the first to buy something on it.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for joining us.
You know, not as ambitious as I was expecting. I was expecting to see a lot of HomeKit integration. I was expecting to see the iPad really offer something that would sort of be the final lock-in to the Apple iPad platform. And I also expected Apple Pay to be integrated. I'm almost more interested by the iMac just because I think that could help in our production pipeline.
Absolutely.
So anyways, yeah, that'll wrap up our coverage. I think it's all there. You see the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Decent bumps to what are already pretty good tablets. A decent bump to the iMac for sure. I think that's the more interesting thing from a technology standpoint to me. Yeah. Any closing thoughts?
You know, I really, as a photographer and video editor.
Oh, will you grab that, Eric?
Yeah,
Sorry
sure.
to cut you off.
That's okay.
I'll wrap us up. That's our sandwiches. We ordered sandwiches as well. So Eric's going to go grab a sandwich and I'll wrap up the show. So, yeah, there you go. There is Tech Talk Today's live coverage. Mumble Room, thanks so much for being here through the whole thing. I know it kind of got long, but that's what we do, right? We're marathon runners. So you guys are champs. Thank you very much for being here too with us. And don't forget, that'll wrap up Tech Talk Today for this week. But we're live Monday through Thursday over at jblive.tv. We start at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. No sandwiches?
No sandwiches.
Oh, I thought I heard the door knock.
Huh.
Oh.
I looked in there. I even said hello.
Oh, there's the door. That's it. There you go. Thanks, man. All right, so we're going to eat sandwiches. You guys go about your day, and be sure to join us next Monday. Also, don't forget the subreddit, techtalktoday.reddit.com. Thanks so much for joining us. No rapping video today because the whole dang show was a video. So we'll see you back here on Monday. Bye, everybody.